Today's news from Mercedes-AMG Petronas will be that of Toto Wolff concerning Lewis Hamilton and the competitions the team faced during recent seasons. What have the difficulties conveyed by Mercedes been all about? We will also follow up on George Russell's rise within the team, in addition to some of those memorable individual characteristics of the man behind the wheel. What made him such an important figure to the entire thing? Finally, we will be looking into Mercedes' closest home visitation year. What is really good? What not so much? And then what next for the team? His latest comments are creating a lot of stir in the Formula One community, and it is the team principal himself who well acknowledged that Mercedes had past problems because of the regulatory changes in the year 2022. He also articulated that the ultimate car has never been a delivery for all that talent and capability that Lewis Hamilton possesses, and it has proved too far in an ever-developing sport to maintain that dominance. His statement about shelf life for the dominant stuff especially underlines how all the best teams go through rises and falls in the case of Formula One, where states change affect the approach towards how dissimilar they are. For Hamilton, a driver who has spent much of his career accustomed to winning, the last several years have been very tough. The world champion, now aged 7 years, has repeatedly found himself constantly battling for midfield positions or scraping podiums, far from the prime years during which victory was almost assured. Wolff noted that this shift was not only hard for Hamilton, but he felt this also put a lot of pressure on the team to deliver the performance he deserved. The effect of both the W13 and here both in W14 not living up to the competitive standard was a major upset. And the W15, though it has improved a good deal as of the year 2024, still does not measure up to Red Bull's neck-crack RB20 and has even occasionally been outshone by McLaren and Ferrari. He commended Hamilton for being tenacious and being with the team through these difficult seasons. One consistent feature is Hamilton pushing for improvement, not just from himself, a point highlighted by Wolff, but also about how much Hamilton means to Mercedes as a leader. Calling Hamilton an inspiration to even engineers and teammates, Wolff said, "Lewis has given so much to this team." Wolff said, "We owe this to him to return to winning ways, and that's what drives us every day." Now, the comments of Wolff, however, do not take the same opinion from fans and critics alike. While some have praised the man for transparency and for acknowledging team struggles, others have viewed the open front as an admission of the challenges of rebuilding in such a competitive era. Others, however, have raised concerns about Hamilton's patience. At 39 years, Hamilton is nearing the twilight of his career and is being speculated whether Mercedes can get back to competing for the championship before he could grab an 8th world title and break his tie with Michael Schumacher. There are also obvious, bigger questions surrounding the future of Mercedes in Formula One. After having achieved the unprecedented and uninterrupted dominance for several years during the 2000s turbo hybrid era, the team has fallen into a space of losing territory and relevance as they try to fight their case in a grid that has rapidly gained grounds from the likes of Red Bull or McLaren. Wolff definitely has stressed that this needs time, but loads of pressure comes. This pressure, however, becomes even heavier when one takes into account Hamilton's career and the iconic legacy of the team. It is a not-so-veiled way of saying that Hamilton has done enough with Mercedes to have the utmost respect for this company. He is already in the pantheon of the sport's greatest, and Mercedes is not about to let his career wind down on a down note. However, time will tell if they really can, but one thing is certainly clear. Hamilton and Mercedes are ready to fight hard to try to reclaim where they once were. His journey at Mercedes has been a classic tale of resilience and competence, with streaks of potential during an extremely painful time in the team's fold. The work of beginning to carve one's identity in sport is challenging, but the youngest of all drivers learns from a 7-time world champion. A lot can be done in a very short time by Mercedes. That inspires him to deliver when the pressure is on and lead the team into a new era. The most critical moments as far as Russell's going into the 2024 season is concerned will be defined by the Canadian Grand Prix, where he bagged his first pole of the year. It was history for Russell, but his first ever at Mercedes, too. Qualifying sessions in Formula One require perfect nerves of steel. Therefore, Russell had both when he equaled Red Bull's Max Verstappen to the thousandth of a second. Under pressure, this showed his building confidence and technical ability and his ability to take on the best. This has been a highly fabulous story of determination, skill, and promising accomplishment during a pretty hard time for the team, with respect to the journey of George Russell with Mercedes. Being the much junior driver within the duo, Russell had to manage learning from a 7-time world champion in Lewis Hamilton while carving his own unique identity in the sport. Above all, it can be very truly speaking high on these spots in a matter of just a very few years with Mercedes, the capability to give performance at its best when actually needed and lead into a new era. Russell's 2024 season saw one such harbinger at the Canadian Grand Prix, where he nabbed his first pole position of the year. While it has great significance for Russell as a person, it also serves as a great boost for Mercedes, as that marked the first pole of the season for the team. Qualifying sessions in Formula One need precision as well as nerves of steel, and Russell had both as he matched Red Bull's Max Verstappen to the thousandth of a second. Under that kind of pressure, it shows his confidence and growing technical ability, and he could take on the best of the sport. Russell's pole position came at a time when Mercedes was trying to get back to where they belonged as top runners, which added value to his achievement. For them, it was just a reminder of what they could still compete at the sharp end of the grid when closing the gap to the mighty Red Bulls and reviving McLarens. Russell's feat confirmed why the team saw him as a pillar of their future, a driver capable of consistent star performances, even in a season of transition. We'll add the race to the evidence stack showing Russell's terrific resilience and racecraft. Starting from pole, he had to fight hard against Verstappen and McLaren's Lando Norris. But through hard work, he claimed a podium in third. He demonstrated his prowess at doing the business when under pressure in wheel-to-wheel racing. Yet, even with that, he was his usual demanding self, critiquing his performance and saying there were times he could have made better decisions over the course of the race. In fact, he reflected on the weekend in this fashion. "We're moving in the right direction, but there's still work to do. I'm happy with the progress, but I know there's more to come." Russell's life has evolved into a treasure representing that combination of ambition and self-reflection. Off tracks as well, he has taken the development efforts of Mercedes under his shoulders as a prime figure. Known for his analytical mind and highly detailed feedback, Russell has worked little on his own and significantly on team upgrades for the W15. He has lauded the forward strides made by Mercedes and shown optimism in catching up to Red Bull. The ability to stay motivated and focused during tough team years has united him as a weighty voice in their rebuild process. Apart from his technical contributions, Russell takes on even greater responsibilities as one of the leaders within the team. Although Russell's time with Mercedes is much shorter than that spent by Hamilton, he has displays of maturity and composure that command the respect of his peers and fans alike. His ability to inspire others with energetic impetus reinforces his role at the same time as a driver, representing both the present and future of the sport. Fans appreciate Russell and look forward to seeing what the future holds for their favorite driver. He has moved in a progress characterized by his long journey from an exceptional talent at Williams to a podium-finishing driver with Mercedes. Russell is for Mercedes a hope for the fight against their return to championship-winning form, a very young driver who might drive the team back to the top. Russell has still continued to prove he is above and beyond what is needed in the coming season by continuously lessening the boundaries. His performances testify not only to individual milestones, but also to how the entire team is moved forward. With each race, George Russell is cementing his standing as one of Formula One's brightest stars, leaving fans and experts alike eager to see just how far he can go. Whether it's securing podiums, fighting for wins, or playing a crucial role in Mercedes' resurgence, Russell's journey is one of perseverance, growth, and promise, a story that is still being written. The 2024 Formula One season is a real mixed bag, considering all the hopes of a recovery from 2 years of underperformance with the W15 car at Mercedes. As it became evident early on, with signs of progress coupled with very big issues, it had not been so clear for Mercedes to have matched the blistering pace of the Red Bull, a total dominance continuing to be unparalleled within the sport. The substantial gap continues to hang between Mercedes and the top teams. McLaren and Ferrari are also continuously improving their performance, drawing the potluck ever so delightfully much closer for the podium. The biggest consistency hurdle for Mercedes this season would be, while there have been decently promising steps, like George Russell's taking pole position in Canada, Mercedes's first of the season, they have just thus far failed to carry that form over and give race performances that were seen promising earlier. That has been a major part of their failure to challenge for podiums more consistently. Darren and Russell have had their fair share of problems, especially when it comes to the balance of this car, which has been unpredictable at times, affecting both drivers during their races. However, both drivers have shown their resilience by posting performances where they have been able to shine. Russell has continued to keep a positive perspective about the development of the car, whilst Hamilton puts forth the view that he wishes there could be more predictability in the behavior of the car. Hamilton, known for his leadership and resilience, has been vocal about his frustrations with the current car, admitting that it's been tough to accept that they're not fighting at the front where he's accustomed to being. However, he has also acknowledged the team's ongoing efforts to improve the car, praising the work done behind the scenes to move in the right direction. On the other hand, Russell has taken quite a different approach, a little bit more cautionary and hoping and tedious, in that he stated consistent feedback in front of the team and considers that the car has been slowly getting better. However, that is not the same with Toto Wolff, as both drivers make it about Mercedes not being anywhere close to what they wanted yet. Progress has, however, been communicated. Wolff is just not clear about the iterative's improvement goals that the team has to lay down for themselves for future success. He is now fast positioning Mercedes' plans towards 2025 and beyond, based on understanding that closing the gap behind Red Bull to regain its championship-clinching format is a long-term chapter. If the 2024 championship is seemingly out of reach, the focus of the team is now on the next few years, intending to have an automobile that can compete for championships in succeeding seasons. Indeed, Mercedes is facing challenges in 2024, but so far, such promises of progress and future make for the continuation of motivation. The road to recovery will take time, but the team's core belief in their ability to adapt, innovate, and return to the front of the grid remains unshaken. Despite the difficulties of the current season, the optimism for the long-term future continues to drive the team forward. And that would be the wrap for today's deep dive on the latest updates that Mercedes has put up. Well, from Toto Wolff's honest takes on Hamilton and the performances of the team, to George Russell's remarkable improvements and all the challenges of the 2024 season, this has all the indications that Mercedes has been going through a transitional phase. What are your thoughts on the progress there? Do you think they can come back on top again? Comment below and do not forget to like, subscribe, and then stay tuned for more F1 news.